Hi everyone, this is Robert at English 360 and welcome to the channel. We are doing an essay today, an IELTS essay, which is going to help students who are not ready for the IELTS exam and who are struggling with the IELTS exam itself. So it's a bit of a cold day today, so I hope we can warm up. So I'm just gonna have a look at the comment section and you will see the question right there. So in the comment section, you'll see the question, which is, it is said that TV programs are behind many unacceptable types of behavior in young children of today. How far do you agree? Okay, so there's an E missing with an agree. I'll just fix that. I can't fix that. It's too late. So I'll just put a apostrophe there, maybe. Go with agree. Nope. Yeah, there we go. So how far do you agree? In this kind of question, which often happens to be in the exam, you have the crucial sentence you need to remember is, how far do you agree? That means that they don't expect you to agree 100%, possibly, because you would need to discuss two different aspects of the same question. So if they say how far you agree, you are probably saying I don't agree very much, or I agree a lot, etc. So as in all essays, you need to start with an introduction, which is normally a paragraph which talks about the question in general, the topic which is involved. So in this case, it will be the topic is, of course, TV programs. So it would be something about TV programs and how children often watch TV programs and are influenced by it. So one thing to remember is that, of course, you're not only marked for the language, but also for content. Because if your content is poor, but your language is very good, you're not going to get good marks. So you have to obviously make sure that what you're saying makes sense. So having said that, let's move on to the introduction. So when you're writing an introduction, you absolutely need to make sure that it's general and it's introducing the reader to the topic. So it could be anything like, because it's totally vague or general, you're going to have to talk in general terms. So you can say something like TV is, or has always been central to the way children entertain themselves. It's true, isn't it? Children do that. They watch TV or they watch, Netflix or YouTube or what have you. And this is without a doubt true. So you're starting with a fact. And at this point, you could add another sentence saying that some people believe, or it is believed. It is believed. It's always nice to use a passive sentence because it gives that impersonal tone that creates that distance between the speaker and the fact, and so it becomes more factual. It is believed that some TV programs is spelled with a double M, just in case you don't know. Some TV programs have bad influence on the children, as something like that. Okay, I think we have somebody joining us. Wait a minute, let me add. Hello, Alessandra.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you there. Let me just turn this off.
Nice to see you
So
too.
yeah, I don't know if you missed the question. The question of today was in the comment section. You'll be able to see it. It is said that TV programs are behind many unacceptable types of behavior in young children of today. How far do you agree? And then I made a correction because agree, I forgot to spell it correctly. So it's agree with W. There we go. So I was in the process of starting with the first paragraph, which is the introduction. And what kind of introduction would you write to an essay like this? Can you hear me, Alessandra?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Do you need time to think about it?
Yes, thank you.
I know. No, it can be. I think you're a wee bit too close to the camera. If you can just there, that's perfect. Okay. And I was saying that it's always nice to say something in general before you go into detail. So anything in general will do. It could be, you know, how important TV is to young people, and by TV we mean, you know, YouTube or Netflix or whatever. Not only TV in itself. You can watch Netflix on TV now, can't you? At least I
Yes,
can.
you can.
Yeah, so that is it's the same in the end. So what would you say as an introduction?
I would say that TV programs have a huge impact on young people, especially,
Right.
and uh, and I would probably also say that um, throughout the history of television, the quality of the programs has changed. In the past, TV, I think in the past, TV had less channels, and usually many people would gather at someone's house to watch television. And my mother, for example, told me that when she was younger, I believe she used to watch Carosello, I think it was named.
Okay.
Which is, I think it was, uh, it, it had a better quality than the TV shows, maybe, or TV
So you
programs.
kind of agree that TV programs are a little poor in quality. Are you
Yes,
implying that?
yes, compared to the past.
Okay. So yeah, it's always a good idea not to go too far from the topic. I mean, I would recommend writing about 2 or 3 lines, and letting the reader know what you're going to be talking about in the next paragraph. So, you know, often a line like this, I'm saying this is just an idea, that you can say this essay, for example, I'm writing it in the comments. This essay deals with the way children are often swayed by certain kinds of TV series, for example, and how it affects their behavior. Something like that, yeah. So if you're writing an essay, then it's always nice to keep it very much focused on the topic. So if you say a couple of things like, you know, TV has been fundamental to children, or you know, children have watched TV all their lives, or whatever, almost immediately you need to go back to the topic afterwards. Say, okay, you know, in this essay I'll talk about this, and you know, I'm not. Let the reader know that you are on the ball. You're not going away from whatever it is. So that would be your introduction. That would be enough. What would you say in the as a point in the first paragraph, for example?
I would probably give a few. I would probably name few TV programs that are not very educative. Educational, sorry, yes.
That would be good, but before that, you would need to tackle the question: how far do you agree? So you need to talk about. You need to answer the question, and then you can bring in examples.
Yes, so I would say that I agree with the statement.
Yeah.
And
how far do you agree? Do you agree? Totally agree, 100%, or to a certain extent, or you don't agree at all?
To a certain extent. I mean, I think there are TV channels and programs, TV shows that are very good, and they give you information, and you can. I think if you're a student, for example, you can rely on many channels, and for example, Focus. You know that?
No, not personally. No.
Yeah, I believe it's called Focus.
I'd say focus to my students. Focus.
It's a they sometimes they stream documentary about animals, and you can expand your personal knowledge, but at the same time there are a few channels that are not very. I think it's a waste of time watching certain type of TV programs, and they're not very educational. Like Il Grande Fratello, I don't understand.
Big Brother. Yeah. The Big Brother is not really educational either. I suppose you could learn something from anything in life, yeah?
Yes.
But
how can you be spied from
how to avoid getting into difficult situations?
Yes.
I don't have any experience with that. I probably watched one series a long time ago, but that was the only one, because I found it so dull, and I found it a bit creepy as well. Why would you want to know about other people's lives?
Yes, you're being constantly spied.
Yeah, but there are people who like it, and I don't have anything against it.
No.
People who like it, they say, yeah, it's great, and good for them. If you enjoy that kind of entertainment, then yeah, knock yourself out. So this is an expression you can use. Agree with the aforementioned statement to a certain extent. That means not completely, and then you would need to explain why you don't agree with it, or why you don't agree with it 100%. As you mentioned, there are good programs that people can watch and learn from. What about the bad ones? What kind of things that kids, what kind of programs affect children's behavior? Let's put it this way.
Well, many TV programs use bad words, for example, and I have a lot of programs in my mind right now that I would like to name.
Go ahead.
Like, for example, Uomini e Donne, they're constantly fighting, and all these programs are very popular, and kids might watch it by mistake. That's
right. So that would be I mean, if you have good examples, you can support your points with good examples. So you can say, on the one hand, for example, I'll write this down here. Useful.
Yes.
On the one
hand, because I think that children really like to emulate older people.
Yeah, children like to look up to other people. Yeah.
Yes.
look up to others, and therefore it follows that they should not watch crappy programs. No, I can't say
Yes,
that. Shouldn't watch
because
unsuitable programs.
they're streamed during daily.
Hello, David. Sorry about that. Hello, David Erustico. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching. How's it going? There we go. Yeah, absolutely. So I would suggest have one paragraph which agrees with the statement, perhaps the first one after the introduction, and then have another one which doesn't agree with the statement. Two distinct paragraphs. It makes so much sense when you have separate things, separate points of views in separate areas, you know?
So in the second paragraph,
Yeah.
I should support the statement.
Yeah, you could do that.
And in the third one, I could talk about my personal opinion.
You could give the counter argument.
Oh, but if
you know, no, it's not entirely true because certain programs are educational.
And what if I completely agree?
Don't completely agree ever.
Okay.
Because you're shooting yourself in the foot by completely agreeing. You're actually saying, I'm just going to write one paragraph. No, you always want, how are you going to write the second paragraph, which goes against the, you know, that's the thing. So you really do need ammunition when you go into the battle. You need to have points, you know. So in the planning phase, you will say, I agree with this because, or I don't agree with this because. And that would really sort you out, because if you write 4 paragraphs which are quite dense, including the fourth one, which is a conclusion, or fifth one, if you're writing 4 paragraphs, that's enough. That's more than enough for your exam. So in the exam, when you have the question like that, where you have to what extent do you agree, how far do you agree, you always want 2 sides of the argument. You don't ever want to be saying, you know, I agree 100%, you're right. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say. So what would you say in terms of you know, the points that you don't agree with it? How would you say that?
I would say that not all the programs are bad for kids, and as everything in life, there is bad and good. And I would, as I said, I would give a few examples of TV programs that I've watched when I was younger and that I still watch, like Focus, the one that I was talking about. And also, I would talk about how many examples can I?
Not too many. Yeah,
For example,
one example is more than enough. Trust me.
I would talk about Focus or Voyager, since I like history.
Yeah. Just fixing something. Right. I'm just adding this one as an expression. Okay. Here we go. So, you know, you can start with just saying yet to counter the argument. You can just say, yet there are TV programs which have tremendous educational value and can add important information to a child. I mean, I just wrote that very quickly. There are definitely better ways to say that sentence, but it's just an example. But simple word yet can do that. And that would you can add add your examples there. You can talk about even 2 programs at that point, and you can also say that TV, in general, plays an important part, as more and more teachers depend on, for example, YouTube channel for education. They give links to their kids. They say, they tell them to go and watch so and so program and then talk about it in class. So it does have an educational value. I suppose it's how you use it.
Yes, and also if you're learning a new language, can be useful.
Yes, indeed. Not only English, but if you're learning a very obscure language, like if you're going to Russia or some parts of not that Russian is obscure. I mean, a part of
They
Russia,
have another
Kazakhstan, or sorry.
They have another alphabet, so
Yeah, and then you have lots of programs which are free. You don't have to pay a penny for that, so that's good. And then you come down to the conclusion, which is possibly summarizing what you've said, but also adding something extra, because otherwise it just becomes empty. Yeah. So what would you write as a conclusion?
So what will I write in the conclusion? Can I say in conclusion? Maybe I would write in conclusion. I would say that television is an useful tool, and not only can bring entertainment, but also knowledge and
absolutely.
And I don't know.
Well, look, you can say that, which is literally summarizing what you just said. You can also add something which talks about how situation may change, how people may change the way they feel about YouTube, TV, and other types of programs in the future. They may actually, even parents may actually be able to filter out. That's something we could have mentioned, actually, that parents need to filter out the wrong type of programs. Yeah, that's within their power. Yeah, until the kids are not teenagers, like, they can still filter out the bad ones. So that's how you can prevent.
Yes, you can do that also with the computer.
Absolutely. So that's how you do it. There's no reason why you can't do it. That in the future, and in conclusion, you could say, who knows what future may hold. We might get specific ways of blocking inappropriate content, and more content on demand. Who's to say? Conclusion, you're totally free to write whether you want to write the summary or what you've written, or perhaps you want to talk about how the future may what the future may hold for us. So that would be so. Whoever is writing this essay, they may want to write it in whichever way they want, because there are a million ways to skin a cat, we say in English. There are many ways to die as well. So there are many ways you can write this essay. Basically, that's the best way to say it.
Let's start.
Yeah, the funniest one is the one that I said first. There are many ways to skin a cat. Why would you skin a cat? It's such a horrible thing to do.
No,
Yeah,
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know why this expression exists. I'll find out why. So, are you feeling confident about writing essays a bit more?
Yes, and I also, as I always tell you, it's easier when I like the topic, when the topic is interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah. I wish we could choose the topics in exam. Yeah.
Yes, right. And yes, maybe not the exact topic, but at least I don't know, maybe it's about education, it's about TV programs.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't.
Mm.
Right, that's where we end. Have a great evening. Thanks for joining us, and see you in the next one.
Yes, bye.
Yeah, and bye
Thank
for
you.
now. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, thanks very much for watching the stream. I hope this was useful. If you have liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any requests, leave them in the comment section. Bye for now, and peace.